Hello Internet, my name is James, and you're watching Macabre Manscaped, the most ill-titled music-based channel on YouTube. Today, I'm a little bit behind. I'm doing my Nouvelles Sorties, at least that's what's going to be called from now on. I realized that, I had made a accidental grammatical error with my French, and that's what happens when you come up with an idea, and then you just kind of do it without, like, double-checking yourself. So this is for releases of the week January 14th. That was last Friday. Today is Tuesday. Hopefully I get this out really soon. This is going to be a short episode because last week I listened to 2 new releases, and strong opinions I do not have really about either. So let's hop to it. The first thing I listened to was Volumes of Vomit, the second full-length studio album by Scottish brutal death/slam band Party Cannon, released through Gorehouse Productions. And by the way, if you're interested in getting yourself a physical copy of the Party Cannon album, it is for sale in physical release on their Bandcamp, I believe only for the first week. I don't really know how that's going to shake down in the future, but on Bandcamp at least, first week. So, here it is. So, this is really not my thing. I chose Party Cannon because I saw that they were coming out with a new album, and back when I was in high school, when meme culture became less niche and more mainstream and more accessible, it was one of those things where, like, you saw, it was like a meme at the time where, like, you saw a poster for a death metal festival of some kind, and you have all these, like, jagged edges and gross, like, unsettling angles and squiggles for logos, and then all of a sudden, Party Cannon and bright balloons. So I was like, you know what? I don't actually know anything about them. I'm going to try to listen to them. So I did. I don't really have much to say about it. Like, it's slam and brutal death metal. If you're into that, this actually might appeal to you. It doesn't bother me. Which, you know what? That's a good thing. Again, I have notes for these, so let me just look at it again. Okay, so I guess it's a testament to how just used to extreme metal I am now that it just doesn't bother me, and that's like high praise for this kind of shit, because I'm not a fan of either of these genres, slam or brutal death metal. I'm assuming, based on what I know about slam is the thing that brings down the tempo in this kind of music. So you have those like discordant, kind of dissonant, like mathcore, uh, like almost melodic riffing. It's like that, like those random notes that they add in between the riffs to add that like texture and eccentricity. But in general, I was like, it's fine. I appreciate that it is playful, that they are a playful band, and they have that going on in like the joke titles and the samples that they use. They have a lot of sound bites and stuff. Which, by the way, the joke song titles, wonderful, great. Like that track 8 is "I Believe in Danny Felth." Lovely. It's so stupid. I love it. The thing with this album is that I could listen to it. I could probably listen to it right now if I wanted to. Like, I had no problem getting through this. It was more that as it continued on, it started to wear thin on me. Like, I don't know if I am grateful that I can't understand the lyrics and there are no lyrics posted online or not. I don't really know if it would better my listening experience if I actually had that context and the actual like literal words that they sang, because I could easily just be put off by that either way. I don't know. I find it like it is kind of long. It's 45 minutes, which like for an album is not that long, but for this genre I feel like it is. Like, to me, there's no reason why a lot of these songs are like 6 minutes long. So yeah, as the album kind of continues on, I kind of started checking out a little bit, and that's when I started to enjoy it the most, is when I would like go online while listening to it with my headphones, just like surf like Discogs or something, and just kind of bop around to like the groove of the songs. Active listening, it is not really for that. If you're into this kind of music, first of all, I'm curious why. Like, that's not like being, a cunt. That's like me, like, genuinely, like, what attracts you to this? Because I could like imagine listening to it and enjoying it in passing, but not have it like in my collection. I don't really see myself doing that, but I know that like there's like a ravenous audience for this kind of stuff out there. I'm just not part of it. But yeah, It's a little discordant. It's brutal as shit. Um, it's playful. I like that. It has some levity to it. But in general, not really for me. If I had to give this number rating, it'd probably be like a 4 out of 10. Um, don't hate it. I'm just kind of whatever on it. The next thing I listened to was something different. Released on Pest Records, Of Kings and Gods is the second full-length studio album by Dutch melodic death metal band Spartan, and their first album in 7 years. This was released on Pest Records, which I got confused with Pest Productions. Pest Productions is a Chinese or Taiwanese label that does limited pressings of like underground black metal stuff. They're enjoyable. Go check them out too. This is released on Pest Records. I don't know this record label. They seem to be, similarly limited, small size indie label. Now, the album itself of Kings and Gods is enjoyable. It is kind of like Baby's first melodic death metal. It's melodic. It has a lot of drive. It has a lot of energy. Production-wise, I wish it was a little bit more filled out, personally. However, on, face value, it works as a release. Kind of short, it's about 36 minutes in length, but it is enjoyable. I did start checking out of it a little at the end too, which I kind of wanted to go back and listen to again. The thing with this one is following up on the idea that's like Baby's first melodic death metal. It definitely pulls a lot from In Flames, but not like Jester Race, Lunar Strain In Flames, more like Clayman In Flames, which I still enjoy. Like, I'm still down for In Flames during the Clayman era. It's just a little, it's definitely different in delivery. Like, there's a lot of, Fry vocal is really what we're going for. It's like mid-2000s metalcore Fry vocal delivery that's kind of like throaty and leathery. It doesn't bother me, but it also was not really what I was expecting. It kind of threw me off the first time I heard it. There's also some fun little things to, go with the aesthetic and their like gimmick, their like Greek gimmick. They have to add like a little bit. So follow me on this line of thought. So, Greece, ancient Greece, classical antiquity. So they add some classical influence, stuff like piano and like strings sometimes. So that's that leap. Classical. Just again, classical music is not the same thing as classical art and classical antiquity. Those refer to different things. But they add that like extra layer of like floweriness and fluff to it, which I appreciate. Like there's also a guest female singer, which is really nice to contrast off of the harsh vocals, which are also oftentimes layered and will have a layer of like clean guy singing in it, which sometimes works really well. Like here, it gives the impression of like a classical Greek choir, like to go with like plays and drama, but sound-wise, it was never something that I really, really enjoyed, just because it feels a little sloppy. That being said, I would have to listen to this a bit more to really figure out what my thoughts are, see if it grows on me. As it stands, I think this band shows a lot of restraint, and to some extent, I think that could also be part of what puts me off about them. Again, I wish the sound had filled out more. I kind of like the melodies are really nice. They are a little simple, and they are a bit elongated. Like you don't have that like nimble fingered like riffage and lead work that you would expect from like a 90s melodic death metal band. So that being said, Spartan's second album of Kings and Gods I think is enjoyable. I'm gonna have to listen to this one a bit more. I don't foresee it being one of my favorite albums of the year, but so far it's pretty decent. I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10. And that's what I have for my Nouvelles Sorties in terms of albums. I will say, though, I'm pretty sure Friday also saw the release of the new single by Between Two Worlds, which was the Sarah Jezebel Diva Anctoria spinoff. And their third single, Transparent, was released also on Friday, and that was really good. So their first two singles I thought were fine, but didn't really reflect the spirit of Anctoria, the project, like, in my opinion. They were fine. there's, symphonic metal, they were just a little bit too simple. I thought their original incarnation was a lot more off the wall. There was a lot more electronics and darkness. This is the first one where I'm like, this is it. It sounds great. Check that out if you haven't, if you're a fan of the genre, if you like Surgical Diva's vocal work in Cradle of Filth. Her singing in stuff like her solo project and Inctoria are very different, so keep that in mind. That being said, thanks for watching. See you next week for a new entry into Les Nouvelles Sorties. Okay, bye.